They're calling it a crackdown on corruption. But if you look closely, this isn't just about cleaning up contracts. It's about control, and it's going to last 3 years. On June 24th, 2025, China launched a massive new campaign targeting the very system that keeps its internal machine running. Procurement, government contracts, the flow of trillions of yuan in public money. For the next 3 years, Beijing will investigate, audit, and reset how money is distributed from the top down. And this time, it's not just lower-level officials being targeted. The focus is turning inward, toward the core of the system. They say it's about correcting irregularities, overpriced contracts, fake bidding documents, local protectionism, but many insiders are already warning. This is just the start of a deeper purge. When the Communist Party decides to clean house, it rarely ends with paperwork. Let's talk about why this matters. China's government procurement system is one of the largest in the world. We're talking trillions of yuan spent annually on infrastructure, healthcare, transportation, technology, and more. If there's a road being built, a hospital being renovated, or surveillance tech being installed, it's probably going through one of these procurement pipelines. And like all massive bureaucracies, it's riddled with loopholes. Some contracts are awarded through connections, others are padded with unnecessary fees. Many are closed off from non-local or foreign vendors. In some cases, local governments even add extra charges to the procurement process to keep the money flowing internally. So yes, on paper, this crackdown looks legitimate. Fix the leaks, clean up the fraud, or open the playing field. But here's what makes this suspicious. It's not just the timing, it's the scope and the duration. 3 years is not a clean-up. It's a system reset, and that tells you everything. Because just months ago, China quietly began cracking down on financial institutions. Before that, it went after private tutoring, tech giants and entertainment celebrities. Each time the public message was about fairness, stability, reducing inequality. But beneath that surface was something else, a transfer of power. A recent analysis showed that during previous anti-corruption campaigns, over 90% of investigations were used to remove officials who were not fully aligned with top leadership. Loyalty matters more than legality in these drives. And now the focus is on procurement. That means the money. Ask yourself, why now? Why would Beijing turn on the very officials who helped distribute resources during the pandemic? Why would it investigate systems it built, funded and expanded over the last decade? Because in times of economic stress, control becomes even more critical. Right now, China is struggling with sluggish growth. Youth unemployment is rising, foreign investment is hesitant, and internally there's growing anxiety about government efficiency. Public trust is wearing thin. So what do you do when the economy isn't growing fast enough? You tighten the reins. You reassert control over the channels that distribute resources. And procurement is one of the biggest levers. By launching a 3-year probe, Beijing isn't just signaling that it wants clean books. It's making a list: who's loyal, who's aligned, who's expendable. And this probe won't stay small. It starts with investigations into local favoritism, unfair contract awards, and forged documents. But it can easily expand into ideological misconduct, deviation from central policy, resistance to new guidelines, because once the machinery of inspection starts moving, it rarely stops at surface issues. Just ask anyone who lived through the anti-corruption wave of 2013. It started with luxury watches and villas. It ended with thousands of officials gone, entire departments gutted, and the rise of a new elite class completely aligned with the center. This procurement probe could be the same thing, just dressed in new language. Already, Beijing has formed joint task forces between the Ministry of Finance, the State Administration for Market Regulation, and the Ministry of Public Security. That combination tells you this isn't just administrative, it's investigative. Financial irregularity is being treated as a political problem. And when politics enters the room, everything changes. Some cities may see half their procurement departments replaced. Others may shut down long-standing relationships with vendors. Contracts signed in good faith 2 years ago may now be reviewed with suspicion. Projects once seen as achievements may be reframed as excesses. And let's not forget the silent impact this will have on business. Private companies who once depended on government contracts will now operate in fear. Every invoice, every bid, every email trail becomes a liability. This doesn't just discourage corruption, it discourages participation. And foreign companies? The signal is chilling. Even if you're playing by the rules, if your partner falls, you may fall with them. Multinational firms with Chinese government clients are already reviewing their exposure. Some are slowing down proposals, others are quietly pulling back. That's the unintended consequence of these massive crackdowns. Even when they aim for fairness, they often produce paralysis. And perhaps that's the point. Because in a system where economic momentum is slowing, the one thing you can still control is compliance, order, predictability. If people stop making bold moves, they stop making mistakes. And if they stop making mistakes, the system becomes quieter, more obedient, but also more brittle. You cannot innovate if everyone is afraid to act. So, while this procurement probe will likely catch some real corruption and it will almost certainly improve efficiency in some sectors, it's also a message. A test of discipline, a purge in slow motion. And in China, when a campaign lasts 3 years, the target is never just bad contracts. It's bad thinking, bad positioning, bad allegiance. Over the next few months, you're going to see stories of arrested officials, terminated contracts, policy shifts. But you'll also see silence, people stepping back, vendors going quiet, departments freezing budgets out of fear. That's what a system reset looks like. It's quiet, it's surgical, and it's total. This isn't just about paperwork. This is about redefining who gets to distribute power in China. And the next 43 years will decide who stays in the room and who gets removed from the table. So the next time you hear that China is cleaning up its procurement system, ask yourself, what else is being cleaned up in the process? Drop a comment and let me know what you think. Is this about reform, or is it about reshaping the entire internal order? Let's talk about it.